Let's go to our next caller from the 845 area code. Caller from 845. Who's this? Go ahead.
Hey, it's just James from Florida. 845 is a New York area code, but I moved down here.
All right. Well, with peace and love, all area codes are welcome.
My question is about the midterms in 2018. People say that there's a big blue wave coming. I'm a little skeptical because I know Democrats have a million ways to mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But my question is particularly about Maryland. I was looking at the governor's race down there, and I found that the Republican incumbent has like a 15-point lead in the polls over the Democrat.
Yep.
And Maryland is a traditionally blue state. And I'm wondering what you think about that.
You know, I haven't been following that super closely. Is that where Ben Jealous is running against? Ben Jealous is the Democrat?
Yeah, Ben Jealous and the Republican Larry Hogan.
Yeah. It's not good if that's accurate. I haven't seen polling recently, but assuming that you're right, that would be a very different, those would be numbers that paint a very different story than the overwhelming blue wave story. Here's the thing. I don't know enough about that particular race to say too much of value about it. Every single election needs to be thought of as winnable, but an uphill battle, right? So that there's no excuse to stay home because you think it's an easy Republican win, and there's no excuse to stay home because you think it's an easy Democratic win. Just period. If there's an opportunity to vote, no matter what you think the results might be, pretend that your vote could make a difference, because it could, and go out and vote, right? Period. I think that that's the approach. And I also have some fear of the blue wave talking points that sounds like you're skeptical about it. I also am. And that's why what I'm saying is I don't care where you're voting. Think of every race as a toss-up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I see these polls everywhere. Like, I see even Massachusetts, Charlie Baker has, like, the last poll was a couple months ago, but he had like a 30-point lead in the polls.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Like, that I don't even consider that's not going to be a factor in the. I mean, in Massachusetts, we get these kind of like decaf Republicans as governors often. It's happened with Bill Weld and Mitt Romney, and there have been others.
Mitt Romney, yeah.
Yeah, and they often kind of go under the radar because they're not ideologically bonkers Republicans as a general thing, and they end up getting reelected on the basis of their sort of like the job they're doing administratively. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I do kind of think there's a blue wave happening because I do think there's a lot of energy on the Democratic side. Like
Sure.
you see last night in Vermont, there was a transgender got put on the ballot.
Yep.
And like, I mean, I'm skeptical about it. I just know Democrats know how to screw things up. Everyone said Hillary, oh, she's a shoo-in.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, cautious optimism. Cautious optimism is the word. I appreciate the call. Everybody vote in every single election.